My girlfriend, that through thick and thin. My girlfriend.
Girlfriends, and welcome to Girlfriends Unscripted. Girl, we became really good at noticing our traumas, our triggers, and our toxic habits. We can really recognize them all. But what happens when self awareness never turns into action?
Healing isn't just saying, this is who I am, I'm healing, and I'm becoming someone different. It's actually making the change. So today we're talking about self awareness without change can keep you stuck.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it. But before we do, all the way from Seattle, California, we have none other than the wonderful, illustrious, beautiful Sean.
Welcome.
Thank you.
All right,
Can I just put a side note out there? Seattle is in Washington State, not California.
Wait, did I say?
You did say Seattle,
You know
California.
I'm glad that you helped me. Talk about
That's what I'm here for.
I'm glad that you helped me because why did I say that? I'm a teacher, y'all.
Don't note that.
All right, so let's get into it. I think like naturally we think like, okay, I'm aware of these things,
Yeah.
and I've taken the first step to become aware of these things, and I'm making progress. But I think just being aware of it is not enough progress.
But it's the first step. You gotta do something.
Yeah.
You gotta do something after that. But if you don't know, then you're getting nowhere.
But if you know the first step and you just know the first step, then that's nothing.
You gotta take the next step. You gotta do step two.
And what's step two?
Step two is
What is
moving
step
forward.
two?
I think it's moving forward. Okay, so
Because I think people are confused. They think that knowing the first step equals progress, but it doesn't. Knowing the first step says, okay, I have this problem.
Yeah.
That's like when you go to AA. I'm an alcoholic.
Okay.
You know you're an alcoholic.
now what?
Always knowing you're an alcoholic, but never doing nothing about you being an alcoholic is nothing. Like, really, it's... So, yeah, no, admitting is the first step, but the first step ain't nothing, really. That, in my opinion.
I think the first step is important.
I think so too.
Yes, because you actually need to know to get anywhere.
But what does knowing do?
But sitting on it is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can know how long are you gonna just know. You know, you gotta know and then move to the next step, which would be like, all right, now what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, because we all have habits that need work, and we know we have those habits that need work. But if we don't do the work to fix those habits, what is the point of knowing?
I think that the first step is so important because, well, getting the first step right, because you can identify something that you think is what it is, but it's actually not.
Yeah.
It's not like, you know, you could say, I don't know, give me an example of a trauma.
Okay, so
you said your problem shopping.
Okay, shopping. Okay, so yeah, okay, shopping's my problem. But what is the actual, like, why? Like, why is shopping my problem?
Okay,
right?
yeah.
Like identifying the root cause,
right?
Uh-huh. That's really, I think that's the first step, and I think that not everybody realizes that part is the first step, right? Like not just knowing, but kind of identifying the root cause, so you can start to research why.
Yeah. I guess I'm at the point where I'm just like knowing your toxic habits and just knowing them and not moving and changing and doing something to fix that.
That's fast forward though, right?
No, it's not fast forward. If you know there's a problem with your washer.
Okay.
The washer's leaking, right? You know there's a problem with that. I know there's a problem with that. Where did that get me? It didn't get me anywhere. So I know there's a problem, and then there's an action that has to happen.
That's true.
Because it's redundant if you just know the problem, but you don't fix the problem, or you don't change the problem. Like, yeah, I know that this is an issue, but I'm not doing nothing actively to fix the issue. That's self-sabotage.
Okay, yeah, of course.
I agree.
Of course, yeah, but I'm saying, like, we're here at only the first step.
Right.
And just knowing and finding the root, like she said, is the first step. And sometimes people are alcoholics. And it's like, okay, I know I'm an alcoholic. I know this is my problem. But they haven't gotten to that point to where they're ready to even shift. You know what I'm saying? It's coming. It's going to come because now, like, okay, I know I'm an alcoholic. Okay, my alcoholism is becoming a problem.
Yeah.
You know, and then, right? And then you start...
Yeah, but I think that's where you get to knowing your toxic traits without doing anything about them is sabotage.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where the conversation is going. If you know it and you're at step one, and you stay at step one for a long period of time, you're self-sabotaging.
Sometimes step one may take a long time though. Okay,
Yeah,
so take your example with the washing machine leaking, right? Okay, so first, of course, you're gonna stop the leak, right? But you got to figure out where the leak came from. Why is it leaking, right? That might take some time. It may take you a couple of days to, unplug or.
But you're actively working and doing something.
That's true.
You're actively taking an action.
But you didn't do that on the first day when you realized your washing machine was broke.
I found out yesterday that my washing machine was leaking.
And then I didn't call today. Maybe I'll call tomorrow.
Why would you call tomorrow if you got to wash clothes today?
Well, I guess it depends on the importance and how big of an effect it's
It
having on.
just don't happen like that. It's not gonna be like, oh, my washing machine was leaking. I'm gonna call right now and tell the people that the washing machine.
That is crazy.
No, that's the word. I feel like that's life.
That's self-sabotage.
It is self-sabotage.
Because guess what? If I know my washer yesterday, I knew my washer was leaking, and today I didn't call, and tomorrow I got busy, so I didn't call tomorrow, and then the fourth day I still didn't call, but now we got all this laundry piled up. Now is so much laundry that now we got to go to the wash house. I never even addressed the problem that I have because what am I waiting for?
I think it depends on the impact. I think it depends on how big of an impact it's having on you right now.
Yeah, that's why I do feel like it's like, because everybody does not react as that fast. Like, okay, like I said, I'm an alcoholic. Boom. Now this is becoming now I'm realizing, okay, I ain't slept. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. Then it's like, okay, this is the problem now. Now I need to be able to fix it. But just for people to take that first step in knowing and then finding the root. The reason, I think that's a big accomplishment, and we don't want to knock
the root and the reason is also taking steps.
Yeah. I said, that's why I said from the beginning, that was the first step. That was like the beginning of what's happening. And then you're going to go down the line and be like, eventually you're going to be like, or you're not, but it just depends.
Okay, so let me ask you guys this. Have you ever noticed something about yourself that was hard to admit?
Absolutely.
Okay, do you care to share? Do you care to share?
Sure. I've been a very defensive person my whole life. Like, okay. Especially with like friends and family. I guess I care a little bit more how they think and feel. So if I feel like they're going to be upset with me, or if I feel like there's going to be confrontation, like I go into a defensive mode and kind of let go of reality. I'm just more defensive.
Yeah.
And my defensiveness is, to be fair, to de-escalate the situation. But I mean, that's not always the case. But yeah. So that's an issue I have, and the actions. Therapy has been big on getting to that root cause. And it's still a work in progress. And I think the hard thing for me is I'm somebody who likes to see progress or see
immediately.
Actionable items happening immediately.
Plan,
And I'm just not always in situations where I can practice, being better at it. So I guess just to segue off into that. But
what about you, Ashley?
I don't know. I feel like
Come on, Ashley.
I do feel like I have. What was the question again?
It's have you ever realized something about yourself that was hard to admit?
I don't think it's been hard to admit though. That's the thing. I know. I be like, I know the problem. The problem is I got want. Like, but hard to admit it. I don't know.
I think for me, something that I've probably gone through or something about myself that I know that it's hard to admit is that it's hard for me to let people go. And I say that in a sense to where I know I have to do it, and then I make excuses for why I shouldn't do it or why I can't do it. And I know that about me. And another thing that I've noticed about myself lately, which I probably already knew, is that when people are wrong or when people are lying or if I know something, I have to prove it. Like, I don't know why. It's just like, I can't let it be. I can't let it rest. Like, I got to be like, no, hold on, because X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And I need to get to the point where I don't have to prove that people are wrong.
It's a
problem that I have, and I know that I have that problem, But like I have to prove people
I feel
wrong.
like I've had that problem too, but I be like trying to like stop that so much.
I'm trying to stop it. I'm currently in the
Because
middle of trying
for
to stop
me,
it.
I tried to call. I've been trying to call her a few times, like no, but it's just because I don't have. I think right now I don't have the energy to try to prove that people. You know what I'm saying? Like just go. But I don't feel like I don't feel like going back and forth with you to reason why you're not and you are. So I just be like no. So when I feel like Kendra's in that state, I be like.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, I feel like that's something that
I was telling her I was like, no, don't do it. And she's like, no, it's too late.
Like if I for real, straight up, like if I know that I can,
and I know it boils your
it be
stomach.
boiling.
I know that feeling. It be
And like
cooking in the
like
inside.
me and my sister be dead arguing because I'm like, no, you're wrong. Like, no, you are wrong. And I need to work on that because I don't have to prove everybody wrong.
Yeah.
I don't have to. They'll eventually come to when they see whatever they doing is not cool. But I have that problem, so I know that about myself.
What do you think the root cause of that is? Why do you think you feel like
the root cause is because I want everything to be right, and I want everything to be in order, and I want everybody to be fair, and I want everybody to be kind to everybody. And so if I feel like you're not being kind, or if I feel like you're doing something that is going to put somebody else in a situation or in a position, I'm going to fix it. You ain't gonna do that, or I know you did that, or whatever. Like I have to let you know that I know what you did, and I don't have to let people know, and that's a problem that I'm working on. So literally, straight up working on it. Like I've acknowledged it, I've accepted it, and yeah, I gotta know that that's something that.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I think taking accountability after you know that is the next step.
Yeah.
You know, they say the first step is acceptance. So now that we at acceptance and we've accepted it, now we need to take accountability for that action.
Yeah. I would say 1A maybe is the root cause, though, the in between that. And then I guess accepting what that is. I
think my problem right now that I haven't just discovered that I'm focusing on is I don't listen to anybody. So like I can be like, should I wear these earrings? And you'd be like, yeah, they're really cute, and I'd be like, nah. Like
I'll be like, why are you asking me?
Right, if you're gonna make your
you actually don't want the advice.
Like and so I'm in the okay, this is a problem. Like it's not gonna work like this because I clearly don't have the answer if I'm asking. But then I feel like, no, I know what's right for me. That's a problem. That's a problem. And I come to terms with that this week. That yeah, I gotta start listening. I gotta start like at least hearing you. Cause it's like, what's the point of even asking if I don't even care what you said?
Right.
So yeah, I'm at that point where I'm like, all right, yeah. So my next step is to be like, okay, let me listen, and then try to do what you said. So next time, well, even we was just, I was like, should I wear the back of my hair now? And she was like, no, and I was like, yeah,
I'm gonna wear the back of my hair now. Literally ask, and I said, I like your hair, it looks nice. And then she says, I'm going to wear the back of my hair. I'm like, why do you ask me stuff? Why do you actually ask me anything?
So I tried to start that today. Well, I guess I'm going to start tomorrow.
But that's a good question. Yeah. That's a good question, actually, for both of you. But we know yours now. What is something, a trauma or a toxic trait that you didn't realize you had that somebody had to call out for you to realize?
Ooh, that's a good question, Sean. A toxic trait that I didn't realize about myself that somebody had to tell me is that I knew it about myself, but they also told me too, is that I try to save people.
Yeah.
And it can be a good thing, but it's also toxic because I go above and beyond for them, and they probably don't even want to be saved. But I want to save them, so I'm going to save them, and I'm going to make sure. But it's actually a toxic trait, and I don't know why I want to do that. Like I feel like called to do that. Like no, I want to help them. I want to do this, but if that's not where they are, like I literally was talking to somebody earlier today, and they were saying, well, usually, you'll call me and you'll say, am I coming? Or, for example, like you'll say, am I coming to church? And then if I don't come, like 2 days later, you'll be like, I didn't see you at church. Are you coming to church? And then if I don't come, like 4 weeks later, you'll be like, am I coming to church? And but you just stopped that lately, and it's because I realized I'm putting all my efforts and energy into trying to get you to better yourself.
Right.
You don't want to better yourself. So when you want to better yourself, you'll take the steps yourself. Because then at the end of the day, you'll end up doing it because I pushed you to do it instead of doing it because you're passionate about it. So that's something that I'm also learning about myself, is that I want the best for people.
But you got to let them want the best for
But
them.
I got to let them want the best for themselves.
Yeah.
So what about you, Sean?
Man, so something that my therapist had to call out about me is that in my Libra people pleasing ways, that I have buried a sense of self.
Yeah.
Trying to, how Libra can fit into any room that they're in.
Any room.
That comes with a sense of burying self. Like, you're adapting to the crowd in the room that you're in,
And who are you?
There are 3 Libras here, so we highly relate to this. It is highly recognizable because we want to. We are people. We can be around all people. We can, and we do want. No, when I say people, I mean like these people, those people, that people. Like we're their people.
Yeah.
Everybody's people.
Right.
But we don't leave room to be our own person.
Right.
And so that's something that I dealt with, but what really brought me out of that was the fire. When I saw that I was everything to everybody, and there was such a small amount of people that were there for me, it shook me up real quick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think sometimes it takes that, but sometimes it just takes realizing that I require things too. Yeah. And I require to have my time or my space or to find my identity in who I am without anybody else.
Yeah.
Because we don't always do that. We find our identity in being everything for everybody else.
I commend you for that. It's hard. It's hard. I mean, we've been doing this, being people,
all our lives.
And people please our whole life. And so to dig back up that sense of self and who you actually are and the decisions that you want to do, like even my therapist was calling out, like, okay, so when your wife asks you what you want to go eat, what do you say? I'm like, I'm down for whatever you want to eat.
Whatever you want.
And she's like, well, you need to start making small decisions every day. Start making small decisions that you actually want to do.
Yeah.
So that you can start, undigging
this
sense of self.
I think that's so hard because when we say we don't care,
but we really don't care. That's the thing.
Like we really be down.
And that's what I be trying to say. Like it really is not a big deal to me.
With me, it don't be a big deal, but in the back of your mind, you do have something you want to do. In the back of it, but because you're down for whatever, right? In the back, don't you be like, I really want, but I'm down for, if you want to eat like that, like
sometimes, not all the time.
Me, I am. I rather, because I rather see everybody do what they want to do, but in the back of my mind, I'd be like, I could go for this, but I could go for that, that, or that.
Yeah, so it's a situation to where like it really don't matter, I guess.
But what your therapist is saying is like,
when
that back of that thought in your head, give it,
And I've been trying to like even force myself to have an opinion. Like what do you want to eat? I guess I do want this. To at least put something out there.
Yeah. And don't follow it with a but.
Right. Stand on 10 toes about it, right?
And I think that goes back to say, like, growth comes with changed behavior. Like how we were talking about how you have to take the accountability. So if you know that that's something that you have to work on, then you change the behavior, right? You begin to, okay, well, I'll take whatever. And it seems small, but eventually you have a voice. Yeah. I remember I dated this guy, and we went out to the restaurant, and oftentimes I didn't really speak up for myself because it was just like, oh, it's okay. And the people had got my order wrong. And I was like, oh, it's okay. He was like, no, it's not. And he was like, and when they come back, tell them that they got your order wrong. And I was like, no, it's fine. I can eat this. And he was like, that's not what you ordered. And sometimes I think that's how it is. Like when you're a person that don't want to really ruffle too many feathers, it's like, oh, it's okay, but it's really not
That's
okay.
when my Scorpio gets to kick it in, cause I'm cuff here, and it be like, no, and he ain't like that the way that look either. And yeah, take
Just
it
start
all
calling
back.
out everybody.
Take it all back. It wasn't right.
Yeah.
But how do we prioritize this, right? We're mothers. We
Yeah.
work full time. We have side hustles. We have so much to do. How do we also prioritize this self-awareness and making that the top of the list too, on top of everything else that we're thinking about all day? We're
Yeah.
That's
thinking
all right. I feel like me. I feel like I've shut down so much, so I have not prioritized it, or like what I've just shut down a lot of things that make me tired or make me, and focus on the things that are easier. That's where I'm at in in my.
I think for me, I keep the mindset that you can't pour from a glass that's empty.
yeah,
And so, if you're not feeling yourself, if you're not taking the time to do a little bit of self care here and there, taking the time to hold yourself accountable and say, hey, I would actually like to do this, or making those changes that are required for you to grow as a person, you won't really be able to be at your full capacity. For your daughter, for your family, for your job, you won't be able to be at the full capacity. So there is an important need for you to take, you know what, I'm gonna take this 30 minutes and I'm gonna just walk up and down the street, but I'm gonna do it by myself. And that's the time that you have for yourself to think and reflect on what you need to do to be better. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to always fill your cup and not feel guilty for doing it. Like, I
that's
need
the
this
thing.
time. I need it.
I feel like having a 21-month-old, I always feel guilty for time to myself. Like I feel like I should be doing something with her, or and I have to get out of that.
Yeah,
because feeling guilty for that time.
Yeah. You can't feel her how she needs to be filled if you're not filled.
Yeah.
What can you pour from your cup if it's empty?
Right.
Nothing really.
And that's what I was saying the last episode. Like, when you know you on your, that moment should not even, you know what I'm saying, phase you, because it's like sometimes I do get in that mode. Like, my daughter be in her room and I be working all day, and then when I come home I be like, dang, she been home all day, not doing nothing. But no, we just went somewhere yesterday. So I got to realize that I can't feel bad about, because it can't be every single day. It can't, like, mom has to have a life too. Mom has to work. Mom has to do this. So I cannot, like, we literally went to Six Flags, and the next day I went to work and I worked all day. So I was like, dang, maybe tomorrow I should take her to the water park or something.
Yeah.
But it's like, no.
And I literally, like, I started to, the other, maybe it was like 3-4 weeks ago. I had went to Bali, and then I had come back, and I went straight to work in the firework booth for the church. So I was at the firework booth. I'm talking, didn't even really get no sleep. Straight to the firework booth, working the firework booth. I came home. It was like Fun Friday. We do Fun Friday. The kids wanted to go to out to eat. I was dead tired. I had been sitting in the sun all day. But they wanted to go out to eat. It was like 10:30 at night. And we recorded that day. And I said, okay, I'm going to take y'all. Y'all want to go out to eat? Let's go out to eat. So we went out to eat. And then the next day, my daughter, she was saying, we've been in the house all summer. And it triggered me because
I'm gonna go OFF.
I'm gonna go off because all summer you've been in the house, but all year I've been planning to take y'all to the Bahamas and take y'all to Miami and take y'all here and take y'all there. And that's when I was just like, the problem is that we give, pour, and we don't have anything left for ourselves. And then we start to feel guilty that we can't pour some more? Like, no. First of all, we come from a generation of parents that only put their all into us.
Yeah, that's true.
That ain't this.
This ain't that.
This ain't that. And so it's like, okay, I recognize that, like, you recognize that you're a person that doesn't find your own identity. So now I know that. And that's what I'm going to work on. I'm going to make that my purpose, to work on who I am becoming, so that I can be the person that I need to be for my baby, for my partner, for my job. You know what I'm saying? Because your identity can't be found in other things and other people.
Right.
You have to find identity in yourself and know who you are and what you need. You know what I'm saying? So I think that for you, that's accountability. And that accountability is not like a shame thing or anything like that. It's like you knowing, this is what I'm struggling with, this is what I'm dealing with, and now I'm going to fix it. So that's what I was saying when I was talking about like how you acknowledge it, you take accountability, then you know, and then you fix it. And it's not a overnight process,
Right.
but it does take steps forward. Whether they baby steps, tiny steps, teeny steps, you have to take the steps to change that.
So, question: how do you know that someone is changing? Like how, or even yourself?
Like for me, I know that I'm changing because I will. I've been the type of person when I know I'm right, I could care less about how you feel about it because I know I'm right. I know I looked, I got the receipts, I know, and I could care less. But now I find myself in a space where it's just like I don't have to be right about this. You know what? I did this and I didn't think about how it made you feel. How can I fix how that? How can I
Right.
do that? You know what I'm saying? I think actionable steps in whatever situation it is. Like if you struggle with alcohol, how will you know that you're recovering from alcohol? Maybe you used to finish a whole fifth of alcohol and now you're only finishing half of that fifth of alcohol. Now you're making progress.
Yeah.
Okay, first you used to whatever. And now you taking 5 minutes to yourself. First you didn't take no minutes to yourself. So I think that you will see an actionable change. You will feel it in yourself. So I think that it'll be easy once you take the first step to see. Okay, I'm making progress. I don't care if it's 5 minutes. I don't care if it's 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
You don't always have the tools when you have the first step, right?
No.
I think. I mean, I know in my situation, like, okay, we realized the problem, right? Like,
yeah.
Now what do I do? Like, how do I start to progress and work towards this?
Yeah.
And for me, jot this down for everybody who is a conflict avoidant person like I am.
Woo.
Being comfortable in the uncomfortable, right? So for somebody like me who avoids conflict, that's a quote my therapist hit me with, and she's like, you have to understand that the uncomfortable you feel in conflict and when people are upset or not happy around you is a temporary feeling. It will be gone in probably 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
So you need to sit in that and let them feel how they feel.
That's theirs to feel.
And it might be uncomfortable for you, but get comfortable in that uncomfortable, right?
It gotta be a Libra thing because I do hate conflict so much. I really do.
I can't tell.
No, the problem is I'm a different person. Like literally, since I found myself, I don't know, I had this awakening. But I used to not want to make people sad. I didn't want to disappoint people. I want to show up for people. I'm tired. Look, can't even barely see straight, but I'm still gonna be there for you because I don't want you to be upset with me. Right. You did X, Y, and Z to me, but I'm still going to show up for you because I don't want you to say that I let you down. I want to prove to you that I'm not the person that let you down. So I don't like to make people upset. I find that in this season that I'm in, I'm more okay with saying, no thanks.
Is that the conflict like you were saying too?
Yeah, I mean, just any kind of conflict. And I was thinking about you the other day because I was like, we have both of us were 3 days apart, and I'm like, because I've seen your growth.
Yeah.
If Kendra can get to that point, like, it's possible for me. Like,
it
I can
is.
get to that point where I just don't give a fuck. You know?
I'm telling you that Tony knows. She used to be like, you need to say something. You need to stand up for yourself. You need to this, you need to that. And I'm just like, I don't know how. I don't want them to be upset with me.
She was gentle with you.
No, I said gentle, but she's not gentle. She's not a gentle person. But when I finally start doing it.
Got something to say.
Yeah, when I finally start doing it.
She said that was a toxic trait to say that, what she said?
Oh, she was saying, we can spin a block on that in a little bit.
Okay.
She was talking about you, but we'll spin a block on that.
What, my toxic trait?
Yeah.
She said you thinking that you helping people is a toxic trait is a toxic trait.
Is a toxic trait?
Yes.
Is it?
She's saying that you thinking that that's a toxic trait is your
toxic trait. Yeah, but maybe it's because she be always saying like, I need to let people figure it out on their own. I need to cut people off. I need to do this. I need to do that, and it's hard.
We should drag her in here right now.
I think it's so hard to really just be done with people. I can never like actually be done with people.
No, she's talking about you saving people.
Yeah, I do.
I thought that too, though. That
it's hard.
Yeah, but I don't think that's a toxic trait. I don't think you wanting to save people is a toxic trait. I mean, me spending, me not Me avoiding conflict.
Yeah.
Because I mean, honestly,
That's the hardest one to fix.
because sometimes conflict is so healthy. Like I talk to my wife about this all the time. Like as much as I avoid conflict, I need for our daughter to see us have healthy conflict. Because I feel like my issue was my parents avoided arguing in front of me, and I also didn't have like I had a sibling, but we didn't have confrontations and stuff like that. So I never got the chance to learn how to have
handle it,
healthy conflict and how to handle it,
Mm.
right? So I mean it's needed, and I need to get comfortable in that uncomfortable space, so that my daughter can see what a healthy conflict looks like.
Yeah, I think for me, like even I'm in this program, and it's becoming an effective leader, and it talks about how you handle conflict. And after I did the test or did the quiz or whatever, it was saying that I'm an avoider, and I am an avoider because if somebody does something to offend me, um, right away necessarily I'm not going to, unless I feel safe to share it with you. I'm just gonna go the opposite way. Like there was this person at work I did not want to see. I didn't want to see her at all because she had truly, truly, truly offended me. So I avoided her in the hallway. I would see her outside. I would go in my classroom. I would shut the door. Like I didn't want to talk to her in that second. I knew I needed to talk to her, but I found that that is that is not healthy to. I just avoid it, right? So if somebody does something, I'm just gonna avoid it. I'm gonna act like it didn't happen. Hopefully, I can avoid you for as long as I feel a way about it. But then, like growing and maturing and like being in this class and all of that, I find it's better to, hey, you offended me in this way.
That's so beautiful.
And no, it really does make you feel better faster.
I'm sure.
Because it's
I
so
can only imagine.
uncomfortable just holding on to
Yeah.
that. Like, so it's just like, hey, can I talk to you? When you did X, Y, and Z, I really didn't like that. That really offended me. And whether you agree or not, like, I literally had this situation at my job. Um, this girl, she had yelled at me at a staff meeting.
Oh.
And when I left the staff meeting, I was like, she just yelled at me. Like, why did she yell at me? And so rather than be offended instantly, I like to get 1 to 2 witnesses that are like, hey, am I tripping? Did she yell at me? Did that happen?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so they're like, we were so shocked. We were confused. We were happy. So fast forward, I go home the next day. I know I have to talk to this girl. I have to talk to her.
It's just sitting on your mind and your
heart,
heart,
on my heart. I got to talk to her. So I see her. I stand outside my door because I want to talk to her. And when she comes up, she says, can I talk to you? And I said, yes, great. She about to apologize. And she was like, I don't like the way you talked to me yesterday. And I floored to the floor. I was to the floor because I was like, I was shocked because I'm about to tell you how I feel. And I'm about to tell you how you offended me. And she was like, I don't like the way that you cut me off when we were talking. And I let her say everything she had to say. And I started to be like, you know what, I'm just going to let this go. And I said, thank you for sharing that with me. Actually, I don't like the way that you yelled at me for no reason. I said, I'm an adult and you're an adult. And if we're talking, you don't need to yell at me. And she said, that never happened. And I was okay in that moment to accept that it never happened in her world. Okay. But in my world, I'm going to let you know what you did. Yeah. And whether you address it or not, my hands is clean, baby. I feel good walking about this room. I don't have no strange, I hope she don't see me. I hope I don't see her. Like, I don't have none of that. And so I feel like addressing the conflict straight on, you be feeling great. Like, you feel better. Yeah. Whether they acknowledge it or not, you don't have to acknowledge it. You don't have to any of that. But I'm going to tell you what you did to me, and it don't have to be what you felt like it was. It don't have to. Yeah. But if it's somebody that cares about you, they're going to acknowledge how you feel. Exactly. So that's just a step in the right direction. If they don't respect how you feel, then that's another conversation.
Yeah. Before we do close, I did want to ask another question. But why do people defend behaviors that they know are unhealthy?
I think they feel guilty or they feel justified.
Judged?
No, I think they may be offended that you corrected them. They may feel justified in the way that they behave. Maybe that's how they've been behaving all their life. So who are you to come tell me something? Who are you? Or maybe they just, like you said, self-awareness. They're aware They've admitted they have an issue, but they're not doing
Not
the
ready
work
to
to fix
attack
it.
it.
That type of behavior requires fixing. And if that's how you've been your entire life, you're going to have to do the work. You're going to have to do the footwork. You're going to have to go to therapy. You're going to have to figure out the root of that problem and get to it.
Yeah.
Other than that, you're going to always live in a state of offense. I always say, like, people that live in a state of offense, it's because they don't want to be corrected. They don't want to be told anything about what they're doing, because if you do tell them, they're going to get offended.
Right.
It's because they haven't done the work.
What's important too is to know that you should forgive yourself for, it's self forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you aren't your mistake. Shame. I think shame keeps people stuck in what they're dealing with. Like,
Absolutely.
I don't want to. I can't face this right now. I'm ashamed of how it's been or what's going on, and that keeps people stuck because they don't want to even admit to the outside world that this is actually what's going on in their everyday life. So
self forgiveness is the hardest part too.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah.
Because you sit on what you did. You sit on what you could have done better.
Yeah.
You sit on how it affected, those around you. You sit on how it affected you, and you just you want to punish yourself sometimes.
Yeah.
And the hardest part is realizing that you are not your mistake and pushing through.
But to live, because like when we're sitting there, we're living in that guilt, and I think sometimes guilt will take over, and you can't even get to the point where you can give yourself permission to grow because you're just sitting there like pity partying yourself, Yeah. So
exactly.
So, as we go, that's been a great conversation. As we go, I want to leave you with this: don't stop at self-awareness. Awareness opens the door, but the action is what's going to move you and walk you through the life that you deserve. So, waiting on the other side of awareness is consistency, change, and a better version of yourself.
Yeah.
So, until then, be encouraged. Send this to somebody who can grow from this, and just know that once you acknowledge it, take the step to make those changes. And see you next time. Peace.
Keep it real, we keep it true. Even when I don't agree with everything you do. Every moment lifted high. Just two queens talking live. I know that I can call on you. When I have no one else, you always stay true.